Hello guys, Belle here, going to be taking a look at the Blood Death Knight. I want to make sure that in the interest of full disclosure, you guys who've already watched me, already know who I am from the show, you know, one, I don't melee because it's a bad time, and I really don't tank. So, I'm not going to have a lot to say as far as a lot of tanky stuff, just because that's not really my get down. My job here is just to showcase what we're looking at in Legion. You should also know that this is the most up-to-date, this is the latest and current build as of May 7th. Also, it does change, so just because you're seeing stuff now doesn't mean this is going to be the way that it is. You guys that main blood DKs as far as tanking is concerned, you guys are going to know the good and the bad when it comes to this. First, I want to make sure that I do highlight your guys' artifact weapon, which is going to be your Maw of the Damned. This looks pretty cool just from a blood DK's perspective, because it is in fact red like the blood DKs. That's the insight I have here, guys, because I don't blood DK. But it is pretty nonetheless, and it does say blood DK, which is nice. Also, if you haven't seen my previous videos and you're barely noticing this more condensed window here for your stats, they did take and remove a lot of stuff, so this is what you have in that regard. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the spells that we have here. Now, once again, guys, I don't tank. You guys know this. I don't DK. My DK is an unholy DK. So, here's what you're looking at for your spells and all that good fun stuff. I tried to put all the stuff on the bars so that you guys would see it all. So, everything that you need to see is there. Also want to make sure that I talk about some of your core abilities. So, as a blood DK, obviously you're a tank. Your core abilities are going to be your Heart Strike, your Death Strike, your Marrow Rend, your Blood Boil, Death and Decay, Death Grip. Pretty cool here. We were having a discussion earlier about Heart Strike, Blood Strike. And I was informed that these were actually removed in Kata, but here's your Heart Strike back in all of its glory. So pretty nice to have that for you here, which does actually generate some runic power, which is pretty nice. Also, if you haven't seen my other DK videos, I want to go out on a limb and let you guys know that they did remove Blood, Unholy, and Frost Rune. You don't have to deal with those at all. They just made it where you deal with runes in general. It's just an all-encompassed rune as well as your runic power. You do have 6 runes, and then you have your runic power here that you do have to generate, of course, by using your abilities. A lot of people have said that they've kind of, that dumbed down DKs. I don't really think that it did. I think this is just forcing you to make sure that you're using your rune management better, and instead of having to focus so much on which spells you could use at which time because you only have that specific rune for that specific spell, this now allows you to have a greater versatility and for you to just really be focused on generating your runic power, generating your runes to be able to use those for your more bursty spells. So DKs, there's not a whole lot that could really kill DKs. They're amazing at anything that they do. When I did the Unholy and the Frost videos, I was super impressed with the damage that I was putting out, and I don't melee, so basically I don't know my rotation, and it was still putting out a pretty good amount of damage. So let's get right into your talent breakdown here. So for your first set, which is going to be your level 56 talents, you have Bloodworms. This is a passive ability. Your auto attack critical strikes have a chance to summon a Bloodworm. Bloodworms deal minor damage to your target for 15 seconds and then burst, healing you for 20% of your missing health. As a tank, I think that's pretty cool, because if you drop below 50% health, your bloodworms will immediately burst and heal you. Smart bloodworms, guys. We live in the age of the internet where anything's possible. Pretty cool as far as that goes. Probably pretty nice from a tanking perspective, so that you don't have to rely so much on a healer or to be able to mitigate your own damage by being able to heal yourself. Heartbreaker, which is passive. Heart Strike generates 2 additional runic powers per target hit. Pretty awesome, because you need that runic power for a lot of things, so it's good to have extra options of being able to get that. And with it being a passive ability, you have less in your rotation that you need to worry about, so that you can really focus on mechanics when you're dealing with boss fights. Exsanguinate, this is a channeled ability. It's on a 30-second cooldown, drains 268k health from the target over 3 seconds. You can move, parry, and dodge and use defensive abilities while channeling this ability. I don't know if this is something that DKs currently have as Blood DK, but this is pretty beefy for damage to be draining. At my base, which I'm wearing your wild combatant gear, I'm 110, and I do have my artifact weapon, that's almost 300k at just those. This isn't even including when I do have tier gear from raiding. So I appreciate that, and I like that. I'm actually going to take that because I want to see what that looks like. So we are going to take that way I can show you guys also. For the next set, you do have Rapid Decomposition. This is a passive ability. Your Death and Decay deals damage 50% more often, and while in your Death and Decay, you generate 20% more runic power. Like I said, the more runic power, the better. The name of the game here is going to be Runic Management, so definitely good to have that. You also have your Soul Gorge. This is an instant ability. It does consume your blood plagues within 30 yards, dealing a pretty good amount of shadow damage to each infected enemy and empowering you for 24 seconds, up to 15% rune generation per plague. Plagues closer to expiration grant more rune generation. The passive Blood Boil no longer applies Blood Plague. For your next set here, you have Spectral Deflection. This is a passive ability. Attacks that deal more than 25% of your maximum health will consume a second bone shield charge to further reduce the damage. With your next set here, you've also got the Ossuary. Don't judge me, guys. While you have at least 5 bone shield charges, the cost of the death strike is reduced by 5 runic power. Additionally, your maximum runic power is increased by 10. So you're reducing the amount used for your death strike, and you're also increasing it by 10. So that's pretty amazing as far as that goes. Your blood tap, this is instant. It does also have a 1-minute recharge. You're going to consume Shadowy Essence, generating 1 rune. Recharge time is reduced by 1 second whenever a bone shield charge is consumed. So good to have that here. Appreciate that. Anti-magic barrier is another passive ability. Your magic shell also increases your maximum health by 25% for 10 seconds. Now, I'm assuming that this might be something that's pretty useful on a tanking aspect. You guys would know more than me, those of you that are blood DKs, but from just understanding the tooltips, that would be my belief. I guess I didn't really pick anything, so we'll just click that because it's passive and I like easy. Oh, actually, we'll do this one so that I can show you guys what that looks like. For your next set, we have the Mark of Blood, which is an instant ability. It does consume 30 runic power, so it's quite a bit. Places a Mark of Blood on an enemy for 25 seconds. The enemy's damaging auto attacks will also heal their victim for 2% of the maximum health. That's pretty nice. Your Red Thirst is a passive ability. Spending runic power will decrease the remaining cooldown on vampiric blood by 20 seconds per 10 runic power. And then you also have Tombstone, which is an instant ability. It is on a 1-minute cooldown. Consume all bone shield charges. For each charge consumed, you actually gain 3 runic power, and you absorb damage equal to 3% of your maximum health for 8 seconds. I actually like that. That's pretty awesome. Not really sure as tanks when you would use what for, so I'm just going to pick the passive here so that I can at least pick something. Your level 75, your Tightening Grasp, this is a passive ability, reduces the cooldown on your Gorfine's Grasp by 60 seconds, and your Death and Decay also reduces movement speed of enemies within the radius by 70%. So, where did I put your Gorfine's Grasp? So, Gorfine's Grasp is on a 30-minute cooldown, and this reduces it to 60 seconds, or by 60 seconds. So, basically, making it a 2-minute cooldown versus a 3. I've heard a lot about Gorfine's Grasp being super important, so my assumption is that this could be a game breaker for a lot of instances. You also have Tremble Before Me. This made me laugh a little bit. It's a passive. Enemies damaged by your Death and Decay will have a chance to cower in place for 3 seconds, but cannot suffer from this effect more than once per 10 seconds. Damage may cancel the effect. This just made me laugh just because of the name of it, so I was super amused. March of the Damned is another passive. Your Wraith Walk lasts 50% longer and breaks stun, snare, and root effects when cast. So your Wraith Walk, which we are going to go through, I am going to show you what that looks like. It is a channeled ability. So yeah, you sidestep into the Shadowlands, breaking root effects and increasing your movement speed by 70% for 3 seconds. During this time, all movement impairing effects are suppressed, but attacking will cancel the effect. So the March of the Damned, this will last 50% longer and breaks the stun, so you can actually use it while you're CC'd. Which, we'll use that. Will of Necrophilus. This kind of creeps me out, just because it's dangerously close to being about necrophilia, but I guess, you know, DKs. Damage taken below 35% health is reduced by 20%. This is a passive ability. Your next one is Rune Tap. This is instant. Does have a 25-second recharge. Consume a rune to reduce all damage taken by 25 for 3 seconds. My assumption here for you guys that are tanks, this would probably be something that you would want to use. The cooldown is on a 25-second recharge, so that's pretty awesome and pretty tanky. I also love that it does remind me of Resident Evil. I'm a huge Resident Evil junkie, so I do appreciate that. You also have Foul Bulwark. This is another passive ability. Each charge of Bone Shield increases your maximum health by 3%. So I think in this instance, you would get to choose between what's more important here as a tank. Those of you that main tanks would know what you need to choose here, but there you have it. Now your last and final, as we all know, guys, this is going to be the important one. So you have Bone Storm. This is 10 to 100 runic power. It is an instant ability and is on a 1-minute cooldown. A whirl of bone and gore matters nearby. A whirl of bone and gore batters nearby enemies every 1 second, dealing. This says 33k shadow damage every 1 second and healing you for 1% of your maximum health every time it deals damage. This does last 1 second per 10 runic power that you have, so you can go from 10 to 100 and be able to use this the entire time spent. This will probably be one of those items where you want to make sure that you are paying attention to what you're doing, because it can consume all your runic power. You also have Blood Mirror. This is an instant ability on a 2-minute cooldown. Affect an enemy with Blood Mirror for 10 seconds while active. 20% of any damage dealt to you is redirected to the target. This is amazing. How could you be sad about that? Then Ye Olde Purgatory. This is a passive ability, an unholy pact that prevents fatal damage instead of absorbing incoming healing equal to the damage prevented last 3 seconds. If any healing absorption remains when this effect expires, you will die. This effect may only occur every 3 minutes. This is up to you. I know that I hear Purgatory. I thought Purgatory was always just a normal passive ability, and I guess they're making you choose between here. I thought that was something that was inherent in Death Knights when it came to, especially to Blood DK. So those of you that play this class in this spec specifically would know more than I would, but I do semi-recall Purgatory is just something that was always passive. Here, I kind of like this Bone Storm thing, so I'm going to use this because I want to see what this looks like. Just sheer morbid curiosity makes me want to check this out. So let's go see what we have here. Guys, I don't DK, so if I do something wrong in this whole clicking of the buttons, I'm just going to mash all the buttons and let you guys see what the spell animations are looking like. So this is Consumption. I want to see what this does. That was pretty nice. And here's your Marrow Mend. I guess you have to be right up here because, you know, stuff. And then here's your Rune Tap. That's pretty cool. Oh, I like that. That's so nice. Like it. I like it a lot. And then you have your Death and Decay, your Gorfiend's Grasp, your Soul, what is that, Soul Gorge, your Blood Boil, which is your normal, and then your Asphyxiate. Here's all your pretties, guys. All your pretties. I hope you guys like this because I like this. Just showing you guys what you're looking like. I don't know if I'm probably not doing this in the right rotation, so I don't know anything about tanking. But this will help you, and you'll see some of these damage numbers that are going out to be able to know if that's right. And then your Magic Shell, Anti-Magic Shell, and then all that fun stuff. Now I want to show you guys the Wraith Walk. So as you see, it's channeled ability. And then you drop back down. So pretty nice. So there you guys have it. There's all your beautiful spells and abilities. Yay, happiness all around. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure if you're watching this video, go ahead and do me a favor and just hit a like. Just give me a little like. If you're new to PWNCAST, do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button so that you can see more alpha coverage as we go. And if there's something that you guys would like me to showcase on the videos that I haven't covered so far, make sure you guys comment below and let me know what you need. I am here for you. This is why I have alpha, to give you guys all the news and information. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you guys subscribe.